You, as an empath, possess some hidden powers that the narcissist never wants to get activated. Because once they get activated, there is no chance for the narcissist to win anymore. And it will be you, as an empath, who will have the upper hand. You see, narcissists know from the day one that you had all these powers I'm talking about, but they never wanted you to discover them. And they were deeply scared. You may be wondering, what powers am I talking about? You'll find out in today's episode. Let me drop some hints here. I am talking about the power you have to destroy them without saying a word. I'm talking about the spiritual protection you have that safeguards you no matter how much a narcissist tries to destroy and erase you. Or the power to name what people are going through experiencing just by seeing their face. While the narcissist who thinks they know everything cannot even name the emotions they feel. And the most terrifying part for the narcissist is that these powers are ones they can never have, no matter how much they mirror, fake, or pretend. You come from a purity they can never ever have. I'm Danish. Welcome to my channel. The topic is 7 powers narcissists know you have as an empath, but pray you never discover them. Before I get started with number 1, a huge announcement. I am doing a free workshop on how to break the spell of trauma bond with a narcissist in less than 60 minutes. Is that even possible? Well, that's a surprise, and I want you to find out by joining, by registering, by claiming your free spot, because the number of spots is quite limited. Link is in the description. Booking is on only for 3 days. I will catch you live. Number 1, the power to trigger a narcissist's buried shame without saying a word. Every narcissist carries a graveyard inside them. I'm talking about the shame, the humiliation, and self hatred. They spent their whole life building a fake personality, which we call false self, to protect themselves from ever feeling that shame again. But when an empath walks around them, that thing gets automatically triggered. You may think, oh, this sounds dramatic or magical, too good to be true. But let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how a narcissist loses it the moment you enter the room, even if they don't know you personally? They cannot stand your authenticity, your realness, the fact that you don't have anything to fake. You're genuinely a good human being, something they can never be. Their whole life is a performance, yours is not. Your light ability to feel genuine happiness makes them feel so small that they drown in their own shame. You don't even have to call them out, argue, or attack. Your energy alone brings their shame to the surface. Shame they have run from their entire life. Shame they would rather die than feel. And this is why they lash out, devalue you, insult you, or mock your goodness. You activate that buried wound. You make them meet the version of themselves they cannot survive. This is the first power they pray stays asleep. Because the moment that shame rises inside them, their entire identity begins to crack. You don't just remind them of who they fail to become. You remind them of who they truly are underneath the arrogance, the lies, and the mask. When your presence pulls their buried truth to the surface, it feels like emotional suffocation to them. Their ego starts panicking, their mind starts scrambling, and they feel exposed in a way that is almost painful. You force them to confront a part of themselves they abandoned decades ago. Number 2, the power of spiritual protection. Narcissists never want you to know the power of spiritual protection you have that safeguards you. Now you may be thinking, if I was spiritually protected, why did I end up with a narcissist in the first place? You see, ending up with a narcissist does not mean you were not spiritually protected. It means God or higher being wanted you to find your light within yourself, and that narcissist was just a catalyst. Think about it. Your resilience, your ability to see through people, and your depth. You became aware of these things only because of what you have survived, not because of the narcissist's goodness. Coming back to the topic of spiritual protection, have you ever noticed how when you are in trouble with no way to escape, God, universe, higher being shows you light and you somehow get out of it? Even when you are financially struggling and desperately need help, someone appears at the right moment. That is the power of spiritual protection I'm talking about. A power narcissists never want you to be aware of, never want you to connect with. And the reason they fear this protection so much is because they can feel it even when you cannot. Your presence makes their darkness restless. Your intuition ruins their plans before they even begin. Your inner voice warns you at the exact moment they try to trap you. There have been times when you walked away from situations you could not logically explain. That was divine intervention in action. Narcissists sense this shield around you and it threatens them because it means they can never fully own you, break you, or drag you into the darkness they live in. You're not just emotionally strong, you're spiritually guarded, and they know that any harm they send your way eventually circles back to them. Number three, the power to emotionally disarm them by naming what they can't name. A narcissist thinks of themselves as the most powerful human being who has the intellect to prove even lies is truth, and they can even make a saint and a kind human being appear as toxic and evil. People like them can appear saintly, that's their power. But one power God has never given them and has only given to empaths is that they cannot name shame. They cannot name fear. They cannot name insecurity or jealousy or humiliation. These emotions live inside them like trapped animals, and they spend their entire lives pretending those feelings do not exist. But you, as an empath, you speak the emotional language they are terrified of. You do not need proof and can look at them once and say, "You're hurt, you're scared, you're angry, but hiding it, or you feel rejected." And in that moment, everything inside the narcissist collapses because you just named the very emotion they have been running from for decades. You drag the truth out of the shadows and put it right in front of their face, something they cannot survive emotionally. Your accuracy disarms them in a way nothing else can. Number four, the power to make them feel powerless without doing anything dramatic like them. A narcissist believes they only lose power when someone screams back, fights them, or challenges them head on. They think dominance is maintained through noise, intimidation, and chaos. But what they can never understand and what they pray you never realize is that your true strength is not loud, it does not explode. Your strength is silent. And that silence terrifies them more than any confrontation ever could. Because a narcissist survives on reaction. Reaction is their oxygen. Your emotional response is their fuel. The moment you stop feeding them, their entire system begins to shut down. When you stop chasing, stop explaining yourself, stop proving your innocence, stop justifying their behavior, stop apologizing for things you never did, and stop participating in their emotional circus, they start to panic internally. Your detachment hits them harder than any argument ever could. Because for the first time, they realize their manipulation has lost its grip on you. So they never want you to know your power, that without saying a word, you can destroy them. Can you imagine how powerful you are that just by saying nothing, doing nothing, not reacting, not showing any emotion, you can destroy all their power? Think about that. Number five, the power to become their karma without intending to. When I say you are a narcissist walking, living karma, I mean it. Let me explain how. When you walk away, you leave a vacuum in the narcissist's life that no supply is able to fill. No matter how rich, successful, or smart they are, because they can never find a selfless, honest, kind, giving, and understanding person like you. And the love you showed them is another form of their karma. You are living proof that their evil intentions cannot kill your light and that truth always wins and prevails no matter what. Your success burns them more than your walking away ever could. They feel so small seeing you grow because from the first day they knew your strength but tried to destroy. However, you won. And the deepest part of this karma is that your existence becomes a reminder of everything they try to take from you. Every time they see you rise, they're forced to confront the reality that their manipulation failed. Every moment you chose yourself, You expose how powerless their abuse actually was. You became the consequence they never thought they would face. The proof that their darkness created your transformation, not your destruction. Number six, the power of recovering from emotional damage faster than they expect. A narcissist always counts on one thing, that the damage they caused will stay inside you forever. They plan your destruction believing you will never rise again. They assume your heartbreak will break your identity. They assume your pain will cage you permanently. They genuinely believe that once they shatter you, the pieces will never come back together. This is how delusional their ego is. But what they truly forget is that you have a power they can't even comprehend. You regenerate, you feel deeply, but you also heal deeply. You break, but you don't stay broken, do you? You fall apart, but you rebuild with a strength that did not exist before. What should have destroyed you becomes the very force that awakens you. The pain they inflicted becomes the doorway to your transformation. The darkness they pushed you into becomes the place you learn to see without relying on anyone's light but your own. And this is where their fear begins. Because the moment you start rising, they're forced to face a truth they cannot digest. You're built to overcome pain, and they're destroyed by it. Your ability to recover faster than they expected exposes how fragile they actually are. Number seven, and the last one, the power of emotional X ray vision. Once an empath becomes awakened, everything changes. It's like a switch flips inside you, and suddenly the world does not look the same anymore. You don't get fooled by people's smiles, you don't get blinded by their charm, and you don't get manipulated by their emotional performances. You start seeing through people in a way that even shocks you. You see the truth behind every tone, shift in their eyes, every fake apology, and every forced tear. You can sense when someone is crying for attention and when someone is crying from their soul. You can feel when a person is pretending to be kind just to gain something, and when someone is masking their cruelty behind politeness. Once that awakening happens, your intuition becomes so sharp that even covert narcissists, the ones who hide behind victimhood, weakness, or innocence, cannot fool you anymore. Their games fall flat the moment they reach your energy. And this is exactly why narcissists never want to reach that level of awareness. They do not want you to activate the power that lets you see through lies, manipulation, and emotional performances. Because once this power wakes up in you, they lose their entire advantage. Which one of these gifts do you have as an empath? Let me know in the comments, and make sure to register yourself for the free workshop I am doing. It's only happening once in a year, so this may be your only chance. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. I will catch up with you in the live session, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.